So the next person has never told a story on the stage. So we gotta get the energy up. We gotta clap really hard. This next storyteller is a first-time storyteller here and is a beginner stand-up comic. And I am just so excited to invite Marielle to the stage.
So this past year sucked, okay? Yes. I lost my marriage, my house, 2 cars, my license, and my job. At a certain point, I just stopped trying to fix it all. And instead of dwelling on what was, I started dreaming of what could be. After everything fell apart, I realized I didn't need a new plan. I needed a new adventure, something that scared me in the right direction. So I decided to eat, pray, love my way through this shit, and I booked a solo trip to Italy. 10 beautiful days across Rome, Florence, and Venice. But now, I had no job. So I was like, okay, I should probably talk to my financial advisor, right? And I just expected her to give me some boring ass budgeting tips. But instead, she looked me dead in the eye and goes, slut your way through Italy. Honestly, solid advice, right? Free food, free drinks, and the audacity to call it cultural immersion. Like, oh, I'm not dating around, I'm just supporting the local economy one Negroni at a time. So that's what I did, sightseeing during the day and Italian men at night. I hit all the classics, the Colosseum, Trevi Fountain, Sistine Chapel, but the real adventure started my 3rd night in Rome. That's when I matched with my first date. This guy sends me a taxi to bring me to his place. And I'm just like, oh, it's kind of sketchy, but at this point I'm just like, what do I have left to lose, right? And I get in a taxi thinking like, am I gonna get stuffed in a body bag? Or am I gonna get stuffed like ravioli? But yeah, from then on, it was a whirlwind of men and drinks and the occasional tourist attraction. Most of them were older, most of them just wanted to get in my pants. But hey, they did pay for dinner. But then, there was Marco. I met him outside a little restaurant on one of those impossibly narrow Italian streets. Same age as me, kind eyes, quiet confidence. Over some food and drinks, he beamed as he talked about role-playing games. Not what I expected to bond over in Florence, but somehow effortless. You could say he rolled a nat 20 on his charisma check, because it was the start to a perfect evening. But yeah, we went for a walk after dinner, moving in step as if we've known each other for longer than an hour. And then we reached a street corner and both just stopped. The city kept moving around us, cars, voices, lights, but we stood still, looking at each other. And without a word, we kissed. There was no pressure, no ulterior motive. It didn't feel like some kind of fling. It felt safe in a way that I didn't know I needed. And at some point, I found myself telling him everything, how my life all unraveled at once, and I told him how I felt like I was too much and not enough at the same time, just too messy to handle, but too broken to keep. And all he did was pull me in closer. And he opened up to me about how he had a tumor, how it made him feel less worthy, possibly unlovable and undesirable. I was the first person he had been with since his big surgery, and he explained to me how scared he was to open up. But he did, with me. And I saw him, not just the version he presented to the world, but the soft, complex human underneath. And he saw me. We didn't want it to end, so we made plans to see each other again the very next night, which was my last night in Florence. We knew our time was fleeting, but we wanted to make the most of it. That second night, we held hands, walking along the Arno River, the street glowing with Christmas lights. It felt like something out of a Hallmark movie. We went back to my hotel room, an evening of holding each other, trading stories, laughing, and long silences that somehow said more than words. And when the night started slipping into morning, we both realized what we've been trying not to admit. We're going to have to let go. When it was time to say goodbye, neither of us could. And at the very last second, just before the door closed and our hands slipped apart, he looked at me and said, "I'll always remember you." And just like that, somewhere between the dates and the wandering and the wine, I started to feel like myself again. Not the married version, not the broken version, just me. Now, a long-distance boyfriend isn't what I had in mind for a souvenir. I'm just glad the TSA doesn't scan your emotional baggage. Marco and I still talk every day, and I'll be visiting again in September. It's so special to be loved, not in spite of what I've been through, but because of who I became because of it. So yeah, I went on an adventure to forget what I had lost, and somehow ended up remembering what I deserve. Thank you.
Keep it going, Marielle! That was awesome. And I was going to say, please raise your glass for Marco. Marco! Chin chin.